It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and there's no love lost between these NFC West foes. It's the Cardinals and the Hawks coming up next.
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. Today we've got an intriguing NFC matchup lined up here, as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, this was a team after the Russell Wilson trade that looked like they might be bottoming out. But for years, the Seahawks have had great success in the NFL draft, as you well know. And they've used the last few drafts to really restock this roster.
And they certainly have restocked this roster and have gotten back to playing football the way that they want to do it. Seahawks football, which means running the ball with authority on offense. They've added runners, offensive linemen, and now they're just being forceful in the way they're going about their business, the way that they did it when they ran the Super Bowls.
And for the visiting Cardinals, this is a team in flux a little bit. J.J. Watt retired. There's a new coaching staff in place. They've got some work to do to turn around what was a 4-13 campaign in 2022.
I remember this franchise won 11 games in 2021, but everything's new now. Head coach, the way they're going to run things on offense, style of play on defense, but sometimes that change can be really good.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So the Seahawks ready to take over on offense, and it is a first-time Pro Bowler who leads them out, Charles, in his 11th year now, Geno Smith.
When the Seahawks named Smith the starter last season, it gave him an opportunity he wasn't sure he would get again. And then he became one of the best quarterbacks in football and sustained it across a full 17 games, winning Comeback Player of the Year. Saved his career with last season and keeps the Seahawks as true contenders.
They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. They run with the second-year man. It's Kenneth Walker. And showcasing those strong legs on that run. Getting through one tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Now that run good for 7 yards, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. Here's 2nd and 3. As they've got it as we resume action. They'll try the air now with Smith. That's to the rookie Jackson Smith-Njigba. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Geno now to throw. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On first down, it's Smith. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Smith. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Throw out wide is incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing again is Smith. That is caught. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Here's Smith. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and it's now a 7-0 game. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a 7th-year pro and a literal rocket scientist. Here's Joshua Dobbs.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. For the Seahawks in the first half, they were led by their quarterback, Geno Smith. His touchdown pass is the only score of the game thus far, as his guys hold a 7-0 lead to this point.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Just the one touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. Moore now to return. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And the third quarter starts with a run by Ingram. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score. Back to throw, Dobbs.
That's complete to Michael Wilson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
Well, that's the kind of play that was lacking all the way through the first half. Maybe this can give them a little bit of a spark because they're not out of this game by any stretch.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Dobbs. And his throw is incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Inside a minute to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now. Now Dobbs. This one complete to Ingram. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. No tougher place to be in a spot like this than Seattle. Here's 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with the offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
They're running. Ingram. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Down to a knee. Here goes Smith, and that should all but do it.
Brandon, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was, well, you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. Well, you can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3, and they got what they needed.
They got what they needed. Exactly right.
So the victory here for Seattle. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say? It's always